Let's talk about your observation reports. As you go into your observation placement into the classroom, you're going to want to pretend that you are a scientist and you're going to want to observe everything that is happening inside the classroom and make an observation report. Now, we chose for this course to use two instruments for observation that you will find have more relevance as you begin your teaching career. We pulled these two instruments from the Tennessee.gov website on the education standpoint because these are instruments that your schools may use to observe and to evaluate you once you are the teacher of record inside of a classroom. So you'll see the two instruments located on that observation content tab in our course. The first one will be labeled the Team General Educator Rubric. And then the second is the Team General Education Form. So let me talk first about the Team General Educator Form. What you're going to want to do for this course is you're going to want to pull this document up, and then you're actually going to need to download it onto your computer so that you can go into the document and add your own words and add your own report using this format. This gives us an idea of what you will be later evaluated on as you enter your own classroom. And so it gives you an opportunity to use this instrument, this tool, to evaluate the teacher that you will be observing this semester. Now you'll see there is a line at the top. It says observer, that would be you. And then teacher observed, that would be the name of the teacher that you are currently observing. Your visits should be announced because you will be scheduling those with the teacher. It will not be a surprise. And then the school name is the school that you are observing. And then the observation number, you could use that line to in fact keep track of the order of your observations. Remember, we're doing 20 hours of observation, so each observation that you complete can be listed in order using observation number. The date will be the date that you're at the school, and the time will also help us log the hours of your observation. The next form on the instrument has two boxes side by side. The first box says designing and planning instruction, and then it has a column for observer score and then a column for self-score. As you are observed as a teacher, you will be able to give your own self-score in that second column. So we'll leave that blank because you will only be observing the teacher and you will not be asking them to self-score. They'll do that later for their own observations with their own administrators. And so you will be logging an observer score in the observer column all the way down through, and then you see the different criteria: instructional plan, student work, assessment. It may not be applicable for your observation, especially if you're going to do a shorter observation. You may not be able to complete and fill out every single box, and that's okay. Different times that you observe, different parts of the lesson, different parts of the classroom environment might stand out to you. So don't feel that you need to complete and put a score for every single box. But just note the ones, maybe the ones that we are studying in our course content and our class discussions may be more relevant. And then as we progress throughout the semester, you may feel more comfortable looking at other ones that we may not be covering in this course, but may also spark your interest. On the other side, the other column says reinforcement objective, and it gives an indicator line and then a section for notes. And then as we scroll on through, the next page has a big block for observer reflection. And you'll note that it does say optional. This is going to help guide us into that observation reflection essay that we complete at the end of the 20 hours. Of course, you would leave the teacher reflection on observation blank because you're not going to ask the teacher to complete this form. And then, of course, yours would be the observer signature. Leave the teacher signature blank. You do not need to share your observations with the mentor teacher. at this time. And so these are purely for your learning, your enhancement in the course. And so you do not need to involve the teacher and get a teacher signature on this page at all. So let's go and let's talk about the other instrument that will play into what we can label on this instrument. And so you'll open up the Team General Educator rubric, and you'll see that this rubric has different criteria, standards and objectives, motivating students, presenting instructional content. It also has lesson structure and pacing, and activities and materials, and questioning and feedback, and grouping students, teacher content knowledge, and teacher knowledge of students, thinking, problem solving. And so there are a lot of things that when teachers are being observed, there's a lot of things that the observer, the administrator, is documenting during that observation. This is another tool that we can use to look, and you'll see there are 3 different levels of mastery for each of the criteria. You've got significantly above expectations, at expectations, and significantly below expectations. And within each of those levels, you have verbiage that give you specific measurable things that you can observe while you are in the classroom, and showcase ways to describe what you are seeing. So you can use this educator rubric to give you the words to describe what you are seeing to label on the other instrument. So use this as a prompt, if you will. So it might be a good idea to go ahead and download this and print a copy to take into the classroom, so that while you are observing, while you are documenting what you see, what you observe, you know the language to use to describe what you are seeing in the classroom. Becoming familiar with this tool and the other tool is only going to benefit you as you move forward in your career to become an education professional. Let me know if you have any questions.